Oh hey, Sunday. How's it going? Oh, thought I'd play some Signalis. Since I have nothing better to do. Hello. Let's see, we've got Cyber, we've got Flower, we've got Lena. Hi. Sunday ice cream? I don't have any ice cream. Actually, I might. I'm not sure. Suppose I should check. But yeah, a little bit of Signalis. I want to get this off my list of things that I haven't finished yet. And then I might play something else afterwards. We'll see how it goes. I'm just loading it. Oh, it sure is taking its time. I had to reinstall this game because I moved some things to a different drive. Here we go. Ah, there we go. I made it so that button turns all the music off, and I always forget that. Signalis. It can be extra spicy this time. But I didn't set my mic up to work through that anymore. Right. I have no idea where we left off with this. I hear the sound of me trying to find all my various cables. Hospital and flooded office. I don't remember any of the buttons. We have a socket handle, an examination room key, various weapons. You had a total. You had to let a roulette wheel pick a game for you today. We were going to stream it to Metro, but you kind of just kept playing. Wow. Yeah, I've got like this list of games I want to play, but I've got unfinished things like this that I want to get through. My roulette wheel today was going to be whether I should turn my camera on or not, because I went through the trouble of setting it up for some reason. Shotgun. What's in here? We've got a pistol with 3 ammo, and yeah, I've got some more bullets, but we have a plate of eternity. A heavy hexagonal stone plate. I think I know where that goes, but I'm trying to remember where we were, so let's leave it there for now. Wow. We can explore this. Door cannot be opened. Looks like there's items we can take. That I can put in storage. P14. Let's see. S2311. Date of time of incident. All the time. Elf keeps using my wrench and misplacing the 10mm socket. I've always been reprimanded for not repairing the fan in the vent in the lower level, but I can't remove the vent cover without the 10mm wrench socket. Well, it's a good thing we've got a socket handle. But we need to find a wrench socket. There was someone with a VHS player, I think. Writing D&D stuff, good fun. Most enjoyable. Gotta get through here before they wake up. The lock is defective. I hate having one. I'm gonna put the wrench socket, the wrench in here until we get the socket for it. Examination room. Where is the examination room? Is it Nula? No. Vent room, sleeping ward. Elevator shaft there, card PC in the office, there's the morgue. Yellow doors, I guess we can open later. Wheelchairs FF4, nice. Yeah, it's a difficult one. To my knowledge, block A7. Microfilm viewer? We don't have a microfilm, we have a VHS. Gonna have to explore some more. I don't really know if we can do anything with what we have right now. I was trying to do some 3D stuff this morning. It went okay. Not really feeling it today. I don't call it hard surface for nothing. It's difficult. I just didn't feel like it. We did the puzzles here. Change my betting, this is today's triumph. You know what? That's great. I need to do a wash. I was going to do a wash yesterday and I forgot. But any small thing is a day's triumph on a Sunday. That's enough. You don't need more than that. This is your one spell day. Hello. Right, yes, key cards. Your rat problem escalated and you can't use the kitchen sink because it'll leak. Oh. If the rats chewed through the pipes. How unfortunate. It sounds like someone's landlord needs to put their finger out. Right, that's a door that I can open that I haven't been through. That's what yellow means. Let's go this way. Right. Now I know what we're doing. Right, no, that was... There we go. Examination room key acquired. Socket wrench head. Since the ration plan has changed again, we're short on quick curing repair spray. Turns out we can make our own by combining coagulant K with normal expanding PU foam. Won't expand as much, but it'll harden instantly and make a fairly solid bond if you're in a rush to get some repairs done. You can now use normal replica repair patches since there's a pretty easy source of coagulant K. You can just combine them with normal repair sprays. Okay, good note. Auto injector, what's this? Single-use injection syringe instantly restores a large amount of health usable on the move when equipped automatically activates on system failure. Well then. That's interesting. Here's what I'm gonna do. A single-use repair spray gun to fill damaged areas with fast-curing polyurethane-based foam restores a medium amount of health instantly. Right, so we can make some higher quality heals. Keep pressing the wrong button here. Let's do it. Nice. That's the 10mm socket wrench for the vent downstairs. The morgue. Get in here yet? Incinerator room key. Right. The vent is the next possible option for us, so let's take that option. this is a dead end. Okay, fine. I'll come back for it. Air key. That one I'll take out. Makes sense to me. The body's gone. That used to creep me out in Resident Evil games when the body just disappeared. But where is it now? Let's get that other ammo while I'm here. And put it in storage. I don't remember if there's a... No, that was dead. Okay. I don't foresee a reason to go back in that room ever again, so... let's leave him to it. Do I only have 2 shotgun shells? Ugh, really, I'm kind of low on ammo, huh? Gotta be careful. Tool. LB. I think that's my defense tool. I thought there was a thing somewhere. Was it this? Yes. Right. The S lock is here. This requires the air key. More keys after this. Thunder. Fire key. Gold key. SVK format compact cassette containing chromium dioxide magnetic tape. Can't get in the morgue yet. There's a card PC in the office. That's for X-ray imaging. Block A7 isn't not accessible, I guess. Somewhere there's a wall safe there. I haven't been in. There's a VHS player. No choice but to explore. Not even been in here. The music is nice, I do like it. Very atmospheric. Alina's diary. Oh, something is wrong. Nobody will tell me what's happening, but ever since I woke up everyone's been behaving strangely. Protectors won't let me leave my room and return to work even though the wound from my fall is already healed. I think there must have been an accident in the mine. I overheard 2 Yules whisper in front of my room that they're running out of staff. I'm worried that something has happened to Elster. I haven't heard from her in a while. Can't just sit around here any longer. Alina Seo. I'm gonna play this someday, so you kinda side eye sneaking big steppy good muff afternooning. Hello pastry. Hello pastry. It is very good. I highly recommend. A patient complained about severe nausea and headaches, admitted to hospital wing after vomiting oxidant fluid during work. Clinical picture in line with other recent cases among Protector staff. While we still have no indication what causes this syndrome, we've observed similar developments in all patients. Most puzzlingly, development of the syndrome seems to progress similarly in both replica and Gestalt patients. Initial admission tests show hypotension, high fever and dehydration, internal hemorrhaging, strong cognitive decline within the first cycle, alopecia and purpura. Within 5 cycles, skin will begin to peel in large patches, decline of vision quality and ability to communicate may follow. Gestalt patients will usually expire at this stage due to infections, whilst the results for replica patients seem to vary. Everyone's SMHing at me reading Lena's diary. Well, you shouldn't have left it lying around in the medical room. Video cassette. Woodgubba. Canal AV. We're gonna watch a movie? I could watch a movie later. I'm still reading from Marcel the Shell. By the way, the soundtrack to that film, there was a point in the film where a note happened and I was like, this sounds like Disaster Piece. That'd be weird. And it turns out it is Disaster Piece. So, second film I know him from now, after It Follows. Wait, did I get a keycard and a videotape that I get to bring with me? Cool. The haunted house. No, we're going to watch Eddie Murphy's The Haunted House. Damn it. That was my last 2 bullets. Shells. Not good. Someone inside the oxygen tent. It's hard to look at her. Wait. Replica kale stems suffer filth. Package insert. Let's see. Extremely potent for replica use only. Kale stem is a sterile solution in an auto-injector pen for emergency injection. It acts on the replica circulatory system, restoring system health. It's intended to be used to avoid critical system failure in replica frames generation 3 and up. You can have it on the tool slot to use it on the move, but you have to hold the button to use it. Oh, when equipped to the tool slot, it activates when the replica system would fail. So this is a fairy in a bottle, but you have to equip it in the tool slot, and I already have a tool in the tool slot. So these aren't as useful to me as I'd hoped. Things I needed down there, but I have no ammo to combat. Well, I do have those. I have to come back here to loot the rest of this room, but this is a pretty good room for stuff. Oh. A person. Wall safe codes. It has come to my attention that at least one worker might be aware of the code broadcasting frequencies for the protector wall safes. That's us. Any workers connected to this leak are to be interrogated until the culprit is found. I'm restricting all radio privileges for workers until further notice. It's a Yule. Everyone's turned weird. I'm the only one left, I think. Will I get sick like the others too? I'm scared. I don't want to die. You look kind of familiar. Have we met before? At first it was only Commander Falk who fell ill. Slowly everyone started behaving strangely. I'm too scared to go outside. I don't want to become like the others. Now, there's no numbers on this safe. Means I'm not going to be able to get an answer. Not yet. A 3D version? You mean like a first-person version? Because this is very much a 3D game. Well, this is a third-person 3D version of this game. What are you talking about? Please clarify. You mean an over-the-shoulder version of this game? Like Silent Hill 2. So you would play a version of this game that didn't have fixed camera angles. We read this before. Hello, Doshamarath. We are trying to solve the mystery of what the hell is going on in this facility. Welcome in. We need one more key. We already got that one. I don't know how it became lodged in that object. What's left? Well, that wall safe is going to be interesting to deal with. Maybe we could take the lift back up and get first floor's wall safe. It was all Mobo. The plot thickens like a fine custard. Used the card PC to write another card before. So I don't think we need that. Wait, those are not as useful to me as I'd hoped. Let's put those away. Take these out. We've got some pistol ammo here. I think I'm still good on the shotgun. There we go. Been a while since we saved. B2. There's a door there. Power outage caused to confiscate the security card. I'll have to find another protector ID if I want to use it again. Ah, crap. Okay, we're stuck here. A dead Ara unit. She looks strangely peaceful. Does she have an ID? that wall safe might be our only good option. Unless there's an item I've missed somewhere. Time to start checking things again, I guess. No, I don't think it's going to be down here. I think this was self-contained. Maybe I have a protector ID and I just didn't realize it. Do still have this strange plate. The surface appears to be made of smooth, polished black marble or granite, but there's something soft and wet inside. Flooded bathrooms. Not much of use here. Check the vent room again. Oh, I got clipped. Lame. Did that really not take me out of the yellow? Weird. Feels like the safe might be the only way. Wait, actually. No. So anything else in ICU 1? I see you, Doctor. Wonder if I can do anything with... No. Maybe I have to try and crack the safe. Ah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So. It's 4985. I guess I'll just try these. Nine, 7, 9, 5, 4. That's you. Ass. Four, 8, 3, 8, 3. Nine, 3, 2, 1, 7. Four, 0, 8, 2, 1. 304512. Nothing. I feel like I tried all the codes. Tells me what the scales are. Right, 228. I should have known about this before. That would have made life easier. $64985. I've been brute forcing it this whole time. ABRNEKSHZF. Phone. ABRNEK. ZF. Translates to, but it's actually ANBHSR ZFKE. So the password I'm getting through is 64985, which equates to R H K F S. There we go. Incinerator room key. Nice. An eidetic module. An old photographic memory module allows recording of up to 6 visual memories. Incredibly outdated, but it might still be useful. Equip. I guess that's good for like snapping useful things. Like codes and stuff. Okay. Next. The morgue. Sure are a lot of guys around here. Thermite flares. My, as you've probably heard, there have been multiple accounts of bodies of decommissioned protectors spontaneously reactivating and acting in a defective manner. Based on November's autopsy report, it seems that all affected units showed some sort of cancerous growth in their organic components. According to her, unless completely incinerated, this growth may reactivate the replica even after it's been dead for hours. We don't know what causes this and we're unsure who's affected. We can't keep up with incinerating all the bodies, with just 2 incinerators that constantly need recalibrating, so we're improvising. These thermite flares are able to melt through replica armor and burn the organic components from the inside. I've requisitioned more of them, but there was some paperwork missing, so we'll have to wait a bit longer. That's for burning the zombies, right. Well, this is turned on, and the key that I need is in there. I think we got it. I must have gone the wrong way with oxygen. there's the fire key. They didn't check the body before they threw it in there, huh? Let's go back to reception and save or store some things. Done. Nice. We got all those keys. Get in here. I can safely drop down to the room below. I think I have to fight it. Wait, now I'm taking damage? Guess that's why they give you the thermite. I wonder what happens when I run out of ammo here. Well, that's it. No more ammo, no more weapons. I guess it's unwinnable. I guess I'll just have to defeat myself so that I can come in with more ammo. Or I could just quit and load. Let's see. I got an achievement for dying. We've never seen this screen before. We B-sodded. Yeah, I just didn't go in with enough ammo. I ran out of bullets. I couldn't do it. I don't love that. Reminds me of the end of Resident Evil 2, but at least there's a save point just before it. I don't even really count that as a loss because it's not really my fault. I just didn't have any bullets on me. Alright, let's run back to the room. They do give you a bunch of ammo and a save point. I should have known. I'm not used to this having bosses in it. I think that's the first boss we've really fought. Hello, being welcome in. We'll take the thermite, that's useful. I'll leave... No, I'll take the stun prod. I'll take 2 stun prods and I'll put 1 thermite in. We'll leave the repair spray and bring the repair patches. And we'll take the pistol and as much ammo as we can carry. So we can store the patches. Any more rounds? Cool, that's all my pistol ammo and all the shotgun ammo. There we go. Let's try that again, shall we? No, Ping, we just fight it slowly. That's how we deal with this. I think what's happening is the mask is opening and that stuff's pouring out, and that's when we get to shoot it. Guys, I forgot to equip the tool. I wish it had stopped becoming an X just as I fire the rounds. Shotgun's not really good for this, I don't think. Right, we're back at the full. There's no enemies to deal with. I went down way faster with the handgun. Who dis? Adler. A visitor. Welcome to our facility. Something was unearthed. You've caught us at an unfortunate time. How can I help you? I'm looking for a gestalt. A worker at our facility. Let me see that picture. Alina Seo.
We did it! Hooray!
Hooray! I believe she's one of our factory workers. However... Ah, you son of a bitch. You shouldn't have returned. Isa, I must have fallen asleep while waiting for Erica. Did she already go home without me? We wanted to get some books from the library together. I should check if she's still there. Let's see if Erica's at the library, shall we? This is a really cool scene. Look at this. I like how it just becomes first person and we get to do this cool little flashback sections. Probably is the fucking nerd. Something tells me that she isn't. Swole babies? I don't know if this has swole babies. This is more about replicants, the gestalts. Think sort of Blade Runner meets psychological horror. Watchford Sector C, Mandelbrot Polytechnical High School. Hey, no bully! That little sound effect that just happened in the music was also that is a Blade Runner sound. I recognize that anywhere. The elevator is out of order. It's a good thing all these corpses were there to, you know, break my fall. But why did I end up there? The last thing I know, I dropped down, I was fighting a big dude, and then now I'm here. Guy, we were just talking about Guy for some reason. Adler. Maintenance key. Bop, 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 bop. Alright, let's sort our inventory out. I'm gonna put the shotgun away for now. I wish I could have picked up the rest of the ammo in that room. Does it let us maintain .as? No. It does not. It does let us combine this with this though. Let's do that. Yeah! Alright. I guess we could save.
You know, that's good to hydrate.
It's true. Thank you for reminding me. Sippy sippy. Those are real loud. I need to turn those down. Or everything else is real loud and this is too low. I think maybe that's the case. Oh, it's the signal. I don't get any signal down here. No, this is good. Okay. It's like an engine for powering a looping.
Who never eats pork buns is never a whole man.
Paternoster lift system. Let's have a pork bun. Ease the tension a little bit. Mmm, delicious. It reminds me of my own real life hunger. Wow. Let's have another one. Delicious. Thank you, Major Ping. That was a lovely set of pork buns. Hey, oh, now then. We don't have any fuses yet, but I see what this is. We change the resistance values, and we match them to 800 and 230 volts respective. Gotcha. Sometimes the doors don't register. A little bit. I feel like it wasn't always like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not used to it anymore, but... yeah, there we go. It's for... hello, Zakshock, welcome in. Okay. Oh, they've just been throwing guys down this elevator shaft all day, huh? That's like a comical number of bodies that they've thrown down here. Oh, you only have to be near it for it to register on the map, I think. Owl key required. Owl key. How many spaces do I have? 2. Star. Security technician guard replica starring. You have a composition question for me. When presented with the task of creating music for a scene, if it was horror theme similar to this, what would you create and why? A horror scene, you mean like, well, where we are right now is just general ambience. To be honest, it's already got music, so it's kind of hard to say what I would create outside of it, because I'd probably have gone for the same thing, this general industrial ambience. Let's see. So, in a game like this, that's very quiet and atmospheric, you don't want something that's got any kind of rhythm to it. Because, well, I mean, you can use rhythm if you want it, but, like, you want to reserve that for your high-octane scenes when, like, a monster shows up. You don't want anything that has too much noise in it, because things like this fan, the sound of the environment, the sound of the doors opening and closing, all that stuff is helping to build tension by being a unique sound that is in an otherwise unoccupied space. So, what we have here is these kind of distant synth sounds that are kind of emulating space. Like, almost like the wind blowing through an empty tunnel. Something like that. So I think the choice that the composer has made is very on point. If that somehow answers your question. Booyan will burn! Wow, they really don't like Booyan. Angry note. I'm officially sick of the Yules next door. They've been listening to that stupid song and I've stopped since the piano room was locked down. If I have to hear it one more time, I'm going over there and smashing that stupid tape recorder to pieces. I wonder if there's a way we can borrow a key so we can get into their dorm and put an end to this madness. I don't care about breaking quarantine if it means never having to hear that song again. It's like when I used to work on Guitar Hero. Oh, that one has a sword and shield. That's fun. So, we have this kind of deep bass line coming in now, because we've entered a room that's full of enemies. That's just adding to the tension, but it's also giving us kind of a drone, a monotonous thing that is also... it kind of signifies power. Like there's, we got lights on in this room, for example. It sounds like the hum of a generator. Which is very in keeping with the industrial nature of the world that we're in. The elevator spot. Oh, you mean like with the bodies? I think the silence speaks volumes. Like the bodies is an environmental story in and of itself. Like you're not the first person to get kicked down here. If you did something like a jump scare or whatever, it's not going to work because we've already seen a bunch of that stuff anyway. And to be honest, like, in this world, bodies aren't... Some people are scared of piles of bodies, but I don't see it as really a horror element. It's more an unfortunate side effect of the circumstances surrounding the situation. This isn't somewhere I enjoy being, because I cannot see anything. The ambience is good if you want a constant bit of music to act as a through line between different rooms. However, you could also make the choice to have nothing in this room. And then but if I had this room and it was dark and I turned all the music off, I'd take all the enemies out of it as well. Just to make people think there was something. Damn it. I ended up getting attacked a bunch because I couldn't see... I can't even see the door to get in it. That's a waste of ammo. If Puzzle Bodies were jump scare in Dark Souls would have quite a lot... Yeah, there'd be no point in Dark Souls. Fear of the unknown. Well, that's what fear is, isn't it? I don't want to deal with Riot Shield over there. Oh, that's a shadow. Okay. How am I doing? We're yellow. That's fine. I'll use that. Yeah, Dark Souls, you get to like New Londo Ruins, drained, and then you'd just be like constant orchestral hits. Memorandum lighting malfunctions. Due to a recent incident involving a certain starling that shall remain unnamed, I've adjusted all... Oh, that's what the Riot Shield one is. It's a security model, of course. I've adjusted all doors to require visible light to open. Which is why we can't open the door in the room I was just in. This should hopefully stop any more non-service cadre personnel from endangering themselves by stumbling into dark rooms until we can take care of the lighting issues. Wish I read this earlier. If you'd been assigned an illumination failure repair task, remember to hook up a flashlight module so the door sensor will let you in. Right, got it. Adler's usually on the 8th floor. There's so many useful pieces of information in that one note. A lot of blood coming out of that door down there. What's this? Workshop key? Ironically, the known is scary for me since I don't have a visual imagination. Oh, that's an interesting take, and not one I've heard before. I feel like regardless, like my take on it was always that regardless of what it is, like there's an instinctual fear like, oh, that thing hurt me before, so I'm not going to do that again, and now I'm afraid of it. That's fair. But a lot of things, the only thing that really scares me, I suppose, is stuff you haven't done before. But gore, body horror, things like this, I don't find them scary at all. The other way to look at it is trepidation, the excitement from trepidation, the increased heart rate and all those other things. They're exactly the same physical responses as excitement, so a lot of the time it's about how you frame it in your mind. It's a good way to kind of do things like that are a little bit frightening, is to just frame it as excitement. I'm not afraid to jump out of a plane, I'm just excited to jump at the concept of jumping out of a plane. For example. That's an extreme example. I probably wouldn't do that. I'm not really into heights either. But that's because I'm, you know, I have terrible balance. Start over to question my reality, then you've hooked me. Ah, oh, but Major Ping. How are you able to be sure of your reality in the first place when you can't prove that consciousness exists? We might all be figments of an imagination dreamt up by a Boltzmann brain invented by a universe that just happened to put things in the right order. No one can prove that we aren't. Here's food for thought. Type 2 generation Type generation 2 low cost general purpose ARA model. Biomechanical with titanium reinforced polyethylene shell. Tough worker bees of the construction repair industry, one of the earlier replica designs, the simple but efficient ARAs. ARAs are actually the most produced replica type to date. These strong and heavy worker units are a perfect fit for working construction and production of industrial goods. In many places throughout our nation, ARAs have already replaced all Gestalt workers in fields like hemoforming and explosive ordnance disposal. I wouldn't worry too much about it. We're all masters of our own reality, right? No space to carry disposable stun prod. Well, there's a hole down there, but I don't really want to go down there right now. Excuse me, bitch! This is my house. Now. If there's two in one pile, is this gonna work? Does that feel like that was worth using thermite for? No, I only got one of them. Okay. That's a shame. Sick Black Sabbath reference there. Use up Sweet Leaf. I love you, Sweet Leaf. Da, 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 da. Masters of reality. Listen to that again. Right, I don't really want to go down the blood hole yet because the Ara dorm. Remember this one. I will remember this because I want to go through here. Let's go! Give me the things. Haha! Okay, the luck is defective. Ah. We're in a bit of a pickle. There's a post box in here. I didn't see that. It's probably got a useful item in it. The looping lift we can't access because there's too many enemies in that room right now. Let's check that post box via the cleaning room and then deal with some of our items. Are we in a pickle or are we pickle frick? No. We're definitely in a pickle. That is a rebooter, which I've just... Oh, really? Why did I do that? That's a really bad situation. Ah, yes, that's what we need the key for, isn't it? So what did we get? We can go down further. Unlocked from the other side. Adler's on the 8th floor. Well, we know he's further upstairs, but we also know that on the 8th floor is where he keeps the visual modules. Hope for the future. Rot front. Okay, we have to go down that hole. But before I do that, we're going to go further up and use the box to deliver some things. That's in here. Store those. Keep the ammo. We'll store this ammo. Now we've got 2 sockets. Could do with a stun prod. Alright, let's head down the hole. Shotgun time, we don't really have a lot of ammo for it, and it takes 2 shots minimum. Well, if you're lucky it's 1 shot, but it's usually 2 shots to take a single enemy down. It could be that we can get some spread shots on them. I think it's better just to avoid things for now, until we have some ammo. You never know when we're going to have to go up against another big dude. Whoa. Another stun prod. Wonderful. We'll take the rounds while we're here, however, since we can. In the Ara dorm. We'll go down the hole. This is my hole. I'm afraid the commander won't receive any visitors at the moment. But perhaps I can be of assistance instead. Who are you? I'm the administrator of this facility. Please, there's no need to be afraid. I'm just here to help. I think that was Erica. None of us are here by choice. Alright, well there's not... I have no space to carry any of the cool stuff that we have, but we're in Stardorm. I'm at is the Revolution, or Heart of the Revolution. More shells. We could probably deal with this threat if we have to. Damn it. I need that fuse. Perfect. High voltage fuse. Your order for this replacement part has been approved and processed by S23 management. Find and enclose the requested part for installation. Repair of the looping lift system must be prioritized over other repairs. And that'll make things easier for us. Okay, so we need to go back upstairs and repair that generator. Tez awaits liberation. There's so many different places here. Hang on a minute, I almost missed something. Can't carry it. There's so many items I can't pick up right now. All these mattresses in corridors. I see you up there. Piano hallway. This is the door they said was locked. Reinforced rolling shutter gate. I need to get a shutter gate handle. Okay. I feel like we're just going through doors. Oh boy, took a lot of damage just now. $72. $106. Okay. Is it Las Carcosa? There's a keyhole in the painting. I don't have a key. Well, that was easy enough to deal with. I'm going to leave him. Pitched it. You didn't like that pitch. Yeah, it's a shame. I'm okay with sounds like that. I do have a limiter on so that the volume itself isn't too loud, but volume is perceived differently by people based on their frequencies. So, yeah. Fair warning, I guess. Store that. We can use this fuse right now. Ah, that's the fuse. Okay. The looping lift system is active. Success. Let's save. That seems like a good point to save it. And also, what are we looking at here? Could deal with some heals. We've got a lot of these little heals, so why don't we just heal up a little bit here? I really have to take 5 of those to get back to blue. Unbelievable. That's crazy.
Let's go. Be super strong, Bucky.
We are a super strong party now. We did it. Alright, so the lift is active. Next. The 6th floor we can get to. The 7th floor we can now get to. Easily. Right. To carry those 6 spaces with pride, it is a very limited inventory. There's so much stuff everywhere that I want. Okay, that's the island painting room. We can't get in there. The Star Dorm has some items in it. This is quarantined. We can't get in there. This had a being in it. Bullets. Repair patch. Was that all? I feel like it wasn't really worth it. If that's all we got. Lose the glasses. Okay, let's go. 5 minutes, no glasses. Hold on. Yeah, I would appreciate an extra couple inventory slots. Now I have to squint to see chat, so you'll have to forgive me if I miss it, because I actually, even if I squint, I can't see it. I'm blind as a bat. See you though. Okay. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's a repair spray in this room. It's orange. It was over here. Got it. Right. Yep. That's not happening. Nope. No idea what that says. I have to occasionally just hold them like opera glasses. Don't overthrow me. I mean, you can have my channel if you want. I don't know what you do with it. The lift is moving. We can now get to the 8th floor. Right? Lol. Ah, we can't get in here. We don't have the right module. Can't see. Damn. Nearly died. From not being able to fucking see. Well, they talk about bang for buck. Okay, this is a new area. I can't use memory anymore. I think this will be good. Wait. That's Adler's office, is it? Up there? I feel like this was in the flashback. Oh shit. I don't really want to go in there without my glasses. I feel like I'm going to miss something important. I'll have to come back and do this bit later. Alright, we've got no ammo left, I don't think. Or do I? Something required. Maybe that's the library or something. I squinted, it looked like library. That looks bad. That looks like it's okay, I can get to it. Something... Immigration? Hummingbird? Hummingbird. Too many enemies. Far too many enemies. Let's try that middle door. No, wait, that said we needed a key. Check those. That can be done. That's blue. It's kind of pointless me interacting with that because I can't see it. Let's move. Oh, time's up. Oh, effect look. I can see again. Whoa. Yeah, I genuinely can't see a damn thing, right, without these. I had a consultation for laser eye surgery and the cost came out as 10 times the regular kind of base amount. They are screwed. Right, there's a star map. That's a door. That's dark. There's a thing I want to read that I couldn't read. Ban in-game action. Whatever's on your 6th inventory slot needs to stay there for the next 5 minutes. Which means if there's nothing there, I'm not allowed to use my 6th inventory slot. Is that what you're saying? Damn it. Okay. I thought this was a monitor for saving, and I thought it was really weird that there was a save monitor in a room with an enemy in it. Mina and Adler. Hold it right there, broken replicant. I'm reading. Replica Known Issues, Part 3. Previous experience with these replica models has given us insight into irregularities in their behavior that stem from the original neural patterns used to these units. Due to the sensitive nature of this information, the document should be destroyed after reading. This neural pattern is extremely stable in MNHR. Little has to be done to keep miners happy. They get along well with most of the models thanks to sometimes submissive, sometimes motherly personality. Unlike other models, diary keeping is not mandatory for persona stabilization. Small stuffed animals may be giving us fetish objects, though those resembling cats should be avoided as they might cause resurfacing gestalt memories. Adler units work best when left alone. They do not mix well with their own type. They will usually become very emotionally dependent on their commander. Adlers are very susceptible to bioresonant suggestion, making them fairly easy to control. However, they become bored very easily and may need new fetish objects at regular intervals for stabilization. This is kind of like playing on the Myers-Briggs scale, isn't it? Falke. Replica overview. Falcon replicants. Okay. These are command units. Bullet resistance. 250 centimeters tall. The head of each Aeon Facilities Protector Force, the Protector Führungskommandos Commander, is a powerful prototype bioresonant Falca unit. An authority that may never be questioned, a Falca unit serves not just as a commander to the Protectors, but as a nearly godlike being, a perception that is underlined by her tall build and resemblance to our nation's leaders, the Great Revolutionary and her daughter. It is also aided by her powerful prototype bioresonance module, which not only allows her to bend the will of weaker minds and fathom their intentions and emotions, but also grants her the ability to manipulate objects from a distance. Maybe that's what we fought before. Speak of the devil, and she will appear. I'll wake her up after I take all of this loot. That's all I can get. I forgot to press the timer button. So you're getting free extra time there. Falca's diary. I don't know how much longer I can go on. I don't want to live anymore as I have become. The red-eyed beyond the gate showed me, no, touched me, poisoned me. Feels like my mind has been contaminated, defiled by another person's memory. I'm no longer fully myself anymore, but I've not fully become someone else either. I'm stuck here between her and me, with half-formed dreams and recollections penetrating my brain and tainting my every action. Who is she? Who is that white-haired girl? Why do I long to see her again? Why would she curse me like this? Wait, isn't that what we're dealing with too? Someone's infected all the replicants, and I think that includes us. Well, I can't have that. I'm not carrying repair sprays either. But I can use this and then pick up the repair spray. That's cool. A heavy box fashioned to look like an owl. There are small holes at the top looking like a speaker or a microphone. This is what they meant by fetish objects. Okay. Can I not do anything here? Not yet. I guess we'll leave Sleeping Beauty in there for a while with our friends. Right, these are all the different planets in the system we've been reading about in the posters. I'm at home of the new nation's government. I heard the view of the gas giant's rings in the sky is beautiful there. An orrery showing a rotating view of the current relative positions of the inhabited worlds of the solar system. Leng, Sierpinski is here. It's the Red Desert. Kitez, I should say. The Imperial fleet can only hold it for so long before it will be liberated. Veneta, the ocean world ravaged by war. When I close my eyes, I can hear the sound of the sea. An orrery, no. Buyan, home to the Imperial Palace, floating above poisonous clouds. Watch front, the ice moon circling the largest gas giant. That's where we ended up in the beginning. Still in the process of climaforming. Okay. We're learning about the solar system that we exist within. now that we've got that crank handle, we can deal with this on the upper floor. Oh, this is a nightmare. Moonlight Sonata. Replica overview, Euler. Simple universal light replica. Owl. And there goes the timer. Thank you, Flower. We got away with it. Euler units are the backbone of the user nation's workforce. These elegant multi-purpose worker units are suited for all kinds of domestic tasks like cleaning, cooking and simple medical and office work. Eulers are highly social and get along well with each other as well as most other replica models. Well and fit for combat, their lightweight frame makes them a prime choice for distant facilities where supplies are limited. An owl key. That looks like several key cards, but I think it's a lamp. We now have more shotgun rounds than we do pistol rounds, so we'll swap out. Need a key for that. Sector office was dark. Where did the owl key go? It's downstairs. Library key. Hummingbird key. Blood overflow? Was that the owl key? I feel like the owl key was further up. Dark. Mineshaft access elevator. What do I need? Administrator's key. That was unlocked from the other side. Which means... unless we check that room there. We can't do anything on this. Owls should be on the top, but I do need to check that room. Nice. That was lucky. And we got our rounds back. Eagle key required. There's a flashlight module. Nice. I like how it turns the light off when you pick it up, so you're sort of forced to immediately use it. I also like that the map has highlighted rooms that are in shadow as well. That is a very useful thing. Adler. Generation 5 High Command Specialist. Eagle type. An integral part of every Protector Führungskommando is the Administrator Unit. A single Adler unit can manage and oversee all administrative tasks for an entire facility, freeing up other operational command units to focus on the direct control of Protector units. The Adler is designed to work as a direct counterpart to the Falca unit, serving as her adjutant by taking care of necessary paperwork and calculations. Okay, so now we're getting an Eagle key. Owl key is for the top floor. This room down here has got some stuff in it. Whoa! One hell of a shot. We managed to take down 4 of them in like 3 shots. So that's what the shotgun is good at in this game. Delightful. For our treble. That looks familiar. Replica overview. Stork. Stork. Biomechanical Generation 5 Combat Lead Unit. Each cadre of Protector security technicians is overseen by a control unit, the most common of which is the Stork type, one of the tallest replica models. Thanks to their extended legs, Storks figuratively and literally keep a consistent bird's eye view of any situation, ready to direct and coordinate their assigned security technicians. Their tough, no-nonsense demeanour, though sometimes described as brutal and even cruel, makes them perfect fit as unwavering sentinels of order. Ah. It's like that. So there's a repair spray, some 12mm, 10mm. You know, we're getting a lot of 12mm ammo, but we haven't seen a 12mm. Unless I missed it somewhere. Nice to know that this room contains a bunch of useful stuff, but I'm going to need to store things so that I can come down and get it all. Let's make our way back to the top floor. Workshop key. No space for the auto-injector, but we could really use that. One of our spaces has to be taken up by the flashlight. Adhesive tape. Weapon case. Something tells me that's the 12 mil. I guess some vehicle. I'd love it if this room had a save point in it. Portable audio tape player with a knife embedded in the speaker. Ah, I see. We'll put this in the owl. Tall mirror stands in the corner of the room. I think it's time to do a item sweep. It's a little boring, but I sort of really want to do it because there's so much stuff just laying around. It's gonna be dangerous, but hooray! I'm gonna save it and we're gonna go minimal and just sweep around and pick up as much stuff as we can get. Because there's stuff everywhere. And I want to do it before all those things wake up again. Yay! Nice. Auto injector. Ammo. Weapon case. Locked with a small padlock. I wonder if shooting these targets gets me anything. I don't really want to waste this kind of ammunition on it. We're already kind of full though on items, so I need to go back anyway. I'll swap out for the handgun while I'm there. God, they see the flashlight, don't they? Gonna need that owl tape with us for the next bit. Think. Store that. Let's store that. Store that. Store that. Take this. I'm gonna try it out. Try out the old target practice. Maybe I'll get a prize. You never know. Broken cassette. Is that what I need the tape for, perhaps? A looping multi-track magnetic audio tape cassette. The tape inside the cassette is torn. A Need to repair the tape before it can be played again. It's like an 8-track. I could use tape for that, but it's not going to be great. I feel like you can walk right past these until you do that. Yeah. Damn it, that one woke up. I really need to hurry. Oh, I didn't do anything. 2 days ago it was -7, now it's going up to 15. Yeah, we had a thing like that in December. It was like -2. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, it was just 14 degrees. A little odd. We still need to sweep the next level down, but I don't really have any spaces to do that with. We could use the stun prod in a pinch. I guess we just taped it. That's fine. We've got that now. We've got 2 item spaces left. I'm going to use the stun prod, most likely. Let's just put it away. Change my mind. We'll do that. Oh, I can't equip it because, yeah, okay. Flashlight. No gun. I want the 3 sockets for all the stuff I need to pick up. For now. We won't need more than this, right? Yeah, so those stun things are like an instant down, which is really useful. I'm hoping we don't need to use it anyway. That's the protector office, so we can do that as well later, but the first thing I need to do before it's too late is get back to this storeroom down here. Before all these wake up. Okay, I think we got everything from there. While we're here, we can go to the owl room. It's not the owl room, that's the other one. The room with the owl lady in it. Can we get this? Is she dead? She looks strangely peaceful lying there. Thought I could use that with this? Well, that's that lead. Okay. We'll come back to it. Ah, I got clipped. That's annoying. Key I can't carry. Netta. Cradle of humanity. And another key. It is a little bit frustrating not being able to carry anything. Because I have to go all the way back up again. Should have gone out the door. This key. Ah! Wait. That's for the weapon box. That was a good thing we brought that with us. Actually, let's say we need some kind of healing stuff. We need this now? We've been in all the rooms that require the flashlight. Except for that one with the key in it. I need that again. Sin spread? What does that mean? Oh, inspired, right. I feel defective. Right, we got the short barrel double action 6-shot revolver that fires 12mm high powered, high recoil, strong knockback ammo. That sounds good. And we've got some ammo for that, so let's take it. We'll take the auto injectors. We might be able to ditch the flashlight once we get that key, so we should jump down there and get that key. I am running very shy on healing stuff. What floor was it on? 7? The Protector Archive is where I want to go. Easiest way to that is the Paternoster looping left. Don't use that from here, so why don't we do this? So have to go the long way round. Island key. I think that's all that was in here. Island painting. Management office. That thing didn't respawn. The workshop key. Well, it's not that and it's not that. So it's one of those two, I think. Ah, no, there. Or 6 workshop hallway. Open the door, thank you. Star and Stork. Unishes Part 2. Previous experience with these replica models has given us insight into irregularities in their behaviour that stem from the original neural patterns used for these units. Yes. Despite their normally laid-back demeanour, stars have a strong internal hierarchy, which is important to take into consideration when promoting units to officers. Not promoting a respected unit or promoting a unit low in status can lead to friction within the dorms. Stars will occasionally develop in-group rules involving physical punishments. It is recommended to allow some officers to own military weapons as fetish objects to stabilise their persona. They need a gun to make themselves feel strong. Storage units initially have a short temper. Training them in patience early after deployment is key, as their neural pattern is less stable than other models. Failing to do so may yield an extremely volatile personality prone to cruelty and violence. A common strategy is pairing them closely with an older star unit, such as persona stabilizes by showering or bathing. Books on history or mythology work well as fetish objects. Right. This is for the cassette. carrying. But it is possible to get to it from this floor, isn't it? So... Good stopping power. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Did we read the Aura unit one? The simple but efficient arrows are actually the most produced replica type. Yes, we did read that. Can't get it? What the fuck? Because I'm already carrying 3. But that put me up to full health. If I can grab that, it'll be worth it. We should save, it's been a while. Really the shotgun I need to get in there. Hey, that was okay. I took 1 hit, but we got the thing. Totally fine. Here we go. On 4-2, we're projecting. Our diagnostics are a little whacked out. That's Swan Lake up in here. I'll take that down to the replicant. I don't think we need the flashlight anymore. Who performed or studied that song? Yeah, it's very prominent piece. It's pretty damn good. The hummingbird key. an 8-track tape. Spin! Let's do the ballet. All right. What's this now? Colibri. Technology replicate a hummingbird. Hang on, I gotta turn this off now. I just wanted one loop. Right. A marvel of modern technology, the Colibri is the most capable bioresonance unit ever produced. Every protective Furung's Commander's Valky unit is aided by a cadre of Colibri unit adjutants, which can amplify her bioresonance signals as well as produce their own. Despite their diminutive build, Colibris are one of the most effective protector units. Able to directly influence the minds of replicants and gestalts, extract information non-verbally and communicate among themselves instantly in the full bandwidth of the senses, the Colibris bioresonance is the closest recreation of a true hive mind. I've got like full empath abilities. There's the eagle key. Hey Niall, how you doing? Keeping an eye on Adler, he's hiding something from us. There was nothing in his diary, but when I probed his mind, there were memories of a Wester unit working at Sierpinski. Thank you for the sub, Neil. Very much appreciated. Hope you're having a great day. There's no record of that model of replica ever being deployed here. An order for single unit for some survey work in the mine was briefly considered, but no new orders were made due to the commander's sickness. But he didn't want Lester units here. No space. There's a heal patch in this room. I guess I did need this after all. Is that a PSO character? No, they do kind of look like it, don't they? There's shotgun rounds in this room. Alright, have a good meal. Postbox key. And mill ammo. Shotgun ammo. I'm gonna need 3 bases. 4 spaces. Eagle key is Adler's bedroom. I would love a closer item box so I'd have to keep going all the way upstairs. That's the wrong door, that's the mining room. I've been fascinated by a peculiar piece of furniture I discovered in storage. A strange box with a removable dial on the front that was confiscated from a worker some time ago. I was instantly drawn to it, though I'm not sure why. When I put my ear on the mechanism, I can hear it faintly clicking like a clock. Safe? Without Calibri's help, it has become much harder to coordinate the logistics cadre. If there's anything is good to say about that woman, it is that she knows how to make others respect her orders despite her minuscule stature. I went to see her today, but her room is still locked. I had a dream tonight, another memory of my Gestalt life, I believe. I was wearing my uniform. There was a young woman, her hair white as snow, and I was conducting some sort of test. I had a deck of cards with astronomical symbols on them, and I asked her to guess the planet on the card I was holding. I was playing with that mechanical lockbox again, which I am now sure is some kind of astronomical calendar, when I suddenly remembered a conversation I had with another replica when I was inspecting the mining site. However, it was clearly a model I have never seen before, some type of engineer with an orange chest piece. In my memory, she was just another member of our staff, but no such replica was ever stationed on Sierpinski. Replica memory is not just the most reliable, they say, but never before have I experienced such a strange phenomenon. The little enigma of that box could only distract me from the chaos around me for so long. All the box contained was a small notebook of which all pages turned out to be blank. It has been miserable since our beloved commander has fallen ill. I long for her stern guidance, that overwhelming authority in which she bathes a room. More sick, making my work ever harder. How are we meant to shoulder this workload with no reinforcements? My only consolidation is that our protector staff decreases, so does the workforce we oversee. While more and more replica end up in the hospital wing, Gestalt workers seem to succumb much too fast for any attempts at treatment. Another diary filled for no benefit but my own satisfaction. I've not ordered a new one yet since I spent my saved ration marks in that marvellous looking fountain pen, but I guess I'll make use of that notebook. So, Adler found a notebook in a box and everyone's talking about the white-haired woman and some kind of tests. Sounds like psychic tests or something. Dance, cheeky dance! Hey, it works. Elster, I think that's us. A versatile combat engineer unit primarily designed for orbital service, these tough and stoic loners are best suited as specialist sappers and scouts. Their technical knowledge and combat capabilities make these units true survivalists, especially when in their iconic white and blue heavy combat configuration, which sports bullet-resistant armor plating on their chest and forearms. Since the original neural pattern for this unit was lost with the destruction of the Central Neural Archive on Vineta, new Elster units have been produced based on a decommissioned unit from the Penrose program. These cards are the astronomical symbols. There's a hole in the front of the box. It looks like something is missing from the mechanism. Well, there's a key we can get, which was in where was that again? It was here somewhere. We were just there. I think it was in there. Yeah, it was the nightlight room. The dark room. The bazillion items in it that we can't carry. Let's open the post box, and then while we're up there we can drop some stuff off, maybe. Loot the room. No. Library key. Basically every puzzle in this area has been use key to get key. We could drop off the... We need the flashlight to pick up those items. There's 2 sets of ammo in that room. Yeah, we could do that quickly. Key to get, key to get, key to get, key. Drop that off. Leave these. We need that, so we'll leave the injectors. And we'll leave the library key. Let's just go and loot everything and then come back. I feel like I'm in the wrong floor now. Damn. Getting turned around a lot. But we'll take these shotgun rounds and we'll take the handgun rounds. We'll take that healing item. You haven't seen Black Swan? Yeah, I haven't watched it. I have seen comparisons between Black Swan and Perfect Blue because there's a lot of, I guess we'll call it homage. In like some of the shots are the same and some of the plot points are more or less the same. But yeah, so I get to watch Aronofsky's film. The most recent film I watched that I really loved was Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, which I think was great. It sounds really dumb, and it's based on like a viral video that some guys made like in 2010, but it's a really good film. We're dropping stuff off to get the library key, that's what we're doing. Don't need that anymore. We'll take stun prods instead. Auto injectors are a good heal option. And then some revolver ammo. Where does that leave us? 2 slots left, one of which is for the library key. So actually we could drop... I want to keep these just in case, and the stun prods are very useful. Now's a good time to save. I am enjoying myself, but it's getting on in the day and I'm starting to get hungry. We made some really good progress today though, considering that I had to figure out where I was and what I was doing. The library key.
A man who never eats pork buns is never a whole man.
Yes, let's remind me of how hungry I am with a delicious virtual pork bun. Thank you, Bing. I wish this filled me up. I wish it filled me up. I wish I had pork buns. I'm done. Thank you. Delicious. I really need to get some more channel point rewards. That's the only one I have that's really of any use. I'm just not committed, that's what it is. Did I go the wrong way? Yes I did, because the library's upstairs, but I'm gonna take this route anyway, because it's pretty good. Ah, why did I do that? I should have committed to the run. Wakey wakey! Wait. Did I screw up? Yeah, I went the wrong way. It's on the fucking bottom floor. You idiot! There we go. Let's see if Erica's in the library. Seems like it. Ah! The thing we fought. Miner. When it comes to dangerous cargo, heavy machinery and hazardous environments, no other model rivals the miner units with their high security power armor bodies. Even in lethal radiation under crushing pressure and in zero-G, they keep their calm demeanor and show exemplary teamwork. Despite their hulking bodies, underneath their face shields of standard Generation 3 cranial construction can be found, making maintenance and social interfacing as easy as with any other replica model. Please note that the miner neural pattern is not suited for combat use. For combat applications, the Saper variant should be used. But Sapir, which employs a combat-capable persona in the same frame. Oh dear. For more information, see Schwere Antipanzer Replica Schnapper. Ah, I see. So that thing we fought before, but a much tougher combat-ready version exists. Great care should be given to Colibris. Their neural patterns are very unstable and their bioresonance module makes them very susceptible to influence from others. Like most bioresonant individuals, Colibris will often subconsciously create an emotional feedback loop, imitating and then broadcasting the emotions of those around them, acting as a sort of amplifier. While they're trained to recognize and disengage this behavior, already unstable units can sometimes spiral into persona degradation. Due to their bioresonant connection, neural pattern development in Colibris varies less than other models. The constant exchange of memories and emotions between units of Akada acts as a safety net that buffers extreme changes. However, once a majority of units in Akada degrade, they will drag remaining units down with them. Because of this, it is important to decommission Colibri units instantly when they begin to degrade. For persona stabilization, Colibris should have access to a well-stocked library. This is a Colibri. Who are you? You're not one of our staff. The others, they've changed. We no longer sing in unison. I used to be able to see into their minds. We were as one. Together we guided them all. But now, I can't understand their thoughts anymore. I've never been so alone before. They're still together and I am here outside, and they won't let me in. I cannot stand their song anymore. This is the only place where I don't have to hear them. This is the only place I'm safe. Yeah, they sound like a bad time. No, they've gone crazy. I can't go on like this. I wish I had become like the others too. At least then I wouldn't be alone. That's sad. I hate this. What am I trying to align with? That thing on the top right, I guess. Okay. Could do that. King in yellow. That's where the astrolab is hidden. Well, we know where that goes, but that's the thing. So where's our boy's office? Star map. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is the removable lock. I'm just wondering if it has the combination might have something to do with this. And I have a device that can probably help with that. Where was his room again? D8. Wait, aren't we on? In the library hallway. Go up. Eagle room. Fuck. Can't get in without the flashlight. Or can I? Yeah, it won't let me. How unfortunate. I guess that's why they left it, the first room, dark. Alright, fine. Oh wait, we don't actually need those repair sprays, do we? So this is interesting. Record 6 visual memories. Like, I feel like this is good for recording where rooms with items are. Here we go. feel like No, I was going to say I feel like I saw this before, but... Where am I going to get the solution? Wait, the cards... Yeah, it's gotta be to do with the astrolabe down, like the star room. Never carry more than 6 items on your person. Private property is a privilege. That's why we have 6 item slots. Recent events, security technicians are worth serving work on. Oh. This is because the security officer got sick. Keep an eye on the administrator. We need the Colibris to keep him in check because the commander is ill. Right. Found that quite a while ago. That makes sense now. I wonder if these posters have something to do with it. These are the different planets. got to be the position of the planets in relation to each other. So let us try something. The star dome? The star map. Seem to be relatively stationary to each other, so I'll wait for them to. Lang is above. How do I see the photos from here now? That's cool. I like this module. Very useful. Where did they all get knives from? Hey, Finnet. How you doing? Happy Sunday. Finetta is the pause. So should be there. Rot front is Ez is a triangle. Aim at the star. Rot front the circle. Booyan. Got it. How goes it? It's going well, thank you for asking. I'm winding down because it's getting a bit late and I'm hungry. But I am enjoying this game very much. It's a lot of fun. Administrator's Key. And Shrine Diary. I've started yet another new diary. How time flies. The work is dull and monotonous as ever in Supinski, but a bright light illuminates my day. Today I was invited to a meeting by Commander Falka, and she was as magnificent as ever. Another day passes. During my meeting with the commander today, I felt the strangest sensation of familiarity as I sat with her. Sadly, our meeting was interrupted by an unexpected power outage. I've been feeling strangely paranoid these days. Never before have I felt so strongly the sensation of déjà vu as I have these past few days. When I checked the pages of my diary today, I noticed that for some inexplicable reason, I seem to have dated my previous entries with today's date. Oh shit, he has. What an embarrassing mistake. Every day feels a bit like I've lived it before, and even stranger is the sensation that something is somehow just slightly out of place. Why is my diary filled with entries I cannot recall writing? Why are they all dated to today? Has the loss of my beloved commander finally got into my mind? Am I going insane? I fear that what will happen to me if anyone finds out. Can't read! I am alone in this. If they discover my notes, I'll be decommissioned too. Something is wrong, I can feel it. Is this really madness? When I read the pages of my diary, I recall events that never happened. A yesterday that never was, yet it feels as real as the one I actually experienced. This cannot merely be a defect of my mind. It feels as though in this room I peer into another version of reality. How? I do not know. Perhaps I too have become sick like the others without realizing. But I will not succumb. A slow accumulation of reproduction errors, a gradual corruption of information, a story misremembered, slowly morphing with each retelling, like genetic material mutating and evolving, like the replica mind, copied over and over from an aging template? I do not know, but I will find out. The answers lie below, I can feel it. Someone or something calls me from there in the mine. Right, so I guess Adler's going to the mine, or he went to the mine. Nope. There we go. I'm hoping there's a save point when we get down here. This feels like we've moved on to the next area, so. That would be delightful. If she's still alive, she's probably there. Take the elevator to the mine? Yeah. Finally made it out of the facility. Chapter 2, Liminality. I know you're here. I've done this countless times before. You don't belong here. Whoa. Cycles. Cyclus? Is that a planet? Basalt pillars hype. Okay. No map data. Get the feeling there's a boss happening soon. Mining tools for those giant things. Yeah, I think this room just exists to go. These are all the mining tools that aren't being used right now. By the way, one of those things is probably going to be on the other side of this door. Nitro Express ammo. Wait. Can I have one of those? Drop out a truckload Friday Eve. Did he? Bots. Oh, bots. Not recently. There was a time last week where we got loads of bot follows, but it seems to have petered off. Right, we can't use those. There's blood on one of those. What's this? Nitro Express rifle ammunition. Right. No, all of our follows this week have been from real people, which is fascinating. Monofilament fiber. Monofiber will effortlessly cut through limbs and equipment in an instant. Always wear protective clothing. Do not touch monofiber without proper protective gear. Only handle in brightly lit places. Yeah, okay. I hoped this would be one of these rooms, and it is. I think we're going to stop here for today. There's a flare gun. Let's sort our inventory out. I might need that down here in the mine. But I don't... should I rely on it? I hate that the shoulder mounted module counts as an item in your inventory. Sort of wish I could just have that. It's okay. Yeah, good progress. Good progress. Perhaps I'll read this note before I leave. No, that's not what I meant to do. Alina's diary. Ooh, the third one. It's worse than I thought. Everyone has disappeared. I still haven't found any trace of Elster. It's as if she had never been here. Something's wrong with the protectors, those that are still around. A guard spotted me earlier sneaking out of the medical wing. She let out a monstrous scream as she chased after me. When I looked back, I saw her face, and now I can't forget. It looked like she'd been in some horrible accident. Yeah, their faces all melt off. It's a game about replicants and a horrible replicant virus and some kind of psychic stuff and the King in Yellow. I don't know. But it's still very, very cool, but I'm going to come back to it next time. Next time, because I'm hungry and I'm going to cook today. So, without further ado, let's just check on something. I think I'm just gonna finish up today. Don't really want to do a raid today. So have a great Sunday, everyone. And I'll come back to this in the near future. I haven't been doing schedules recently just because I didn't feel like it. So next time I stream, we'll see what I play. It could be this, could be something else. I got many things in the tube right now. Till then. Bye.